Hello everyone, Nev here, and look what I just got in the mail. I got this today, and it is my Kickstarter loot from Lennox Reese. So I think I technically backed the folkloric forest and then added on the folkloric waters. That was something you could do, and I meant to back this and then add on this, but I got there in the end, it's fine. I also added on the Common Oracle, the little word mini deck, and I bought the Faded Frontier, which was added to the package. So really excited to have this. It joins my other loan deck that I also have from Lennox Reese, and that is the Coastal Curiosities. So now I have a total of 5 decks from this creator. So cool beans. So I also got a few goodies in the package. Let's see. Here is the business card here. There we go. We have a thank you card here with the little dog bone. Love the dog bone. Definitely something Lennox and I share is our love of dogs. I am definitely a dog person. I do love cats too, don't get me wrong, but I'm more of a dog person. We have some stickers, one from the Folkloric Waters and one from the Folkloric Forest, I'm assuming. And we have a few cards here. So one is just a normal card. Absolutely love this. And I do believe that this is from the Forest deck. So love that. So beautiful. And the cardstock is like that rose petal finish. It's very interesting. And then we have 2 things here that are thank you and thank you cards for each of the folkloric decks here. Oh, I think it goes this way. So this one's for the forest, and this one's for waters. Very cool. Love this. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. So I did I got these today, so I really haven't gone through them. However, I unboxed them with one of my kids, so we were kind of looking through some of the cards. So they're mostly in order, but some of it's out of order. So it was mostly these ones. I think this one stayed in order, but anyway. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm not sure how I want to do this, because I'm obviously going to be going through 4 decks here, and I don't know that I want to show, like, if it's going to be too much to show every single card of all the decks. Yeah, I think I'll flip through most of them, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, we're first going to go through the Faded Frontier and the Common Oracle here. The Common Oracle comes in a little tuck box like this, and there are 84 cards. What a great number. I like the number 84. That is the year I was born, by the way. I was born in 1984. All right, anyway. So then the Faded Frontier is a nice 2-piece box. Love this. Love how this looks. Oops, this was upside down. Yeah. So one of the things that I really like about Lennox's decks is that they have an ancestor sort of quality to them. It's very ancestry. I don't know how else to describe that, but it definitely gives that vibe, and ancestor work is a huge part of my practice, and so I naturally gravitate toward these kinds of decks. So I'm really happy to have this. It does come with a little fold-out pamphlet here. Here we go, giving some quick maybe keywords or phrases for each of the cards. Very cool. I like that. There we go. Now this is a little bit out of order. We were flipping through this deck for a little bit before I started filming. So I just left it where we left it. It's in order. We were just kind of flipping back underneath it. There was no shuffling or anything. And then I split this one in half so that we can just kind of look through like this, and this one's pretty much in order, so we're going to be seeing that one in order. So yeah, I think this is fabulous. Yeah, I love that this is basically just old photographs with odd things sort of collaged on top, and it makes sense. It makes sense what we see here. Lost miles and a truck in what looks like the desert to me. I like that. I love this one, the mild disguise with the grilled cheese over the face. And I love the backs of the Common Oracle here. This is such a practical deck, and that's really why I wanted this one. It's very, very practical. Yeah. So just simple words, and they're pretty good words too. Legacy, blessing. I'm planning on mostly using this kind of as spread positions, but there's other ways that you can use a deck like this that's just words. I love that. Nowhere fast. Makes me think of the song Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Yeah. Okay. Map, break, bridge, memory. Ooh, bridge and memory. That's pretty cool together. And this is kind of cool splitting it, even though it's in order. You know, bridge with memory is pretty good. You know, yeah. So one shot. Open invitation, past echoes. We got challenge and needs with push down. Interesting. This one's interesting. Push down. This, you know, I'm not sure what's in the imagery here. Is that a swing set maybe? But anyway, it kind of looks a little mechanical, but it's funny though, because my sewing machine, I have a sign on my sewing machine that says push the foot down. Because yeah, there was a reason for it, but I put a little like sticky note on there, and it's probably been on there for like 12 years. And it's now ingrained in my head to push the foot down, to remember to do that, but I had to put that on there. So this just makes me think of that. My sewing machine. All right, quick fix. Ooh, with a cake and a tent. Very cool. Nourish and change. Choice and oath with rapid descent. Interesting. I'm just going to flip through a little bit here. I love the screw it card. That's great. With crossroads and omen. That's funny. Where you're at a crossroads. It's an omen, but you know what? Screw it. That's fun. Cycle and secret pack and origin. I almost feel like, I mean, these are pretty much just nouns. Or well, not nouns, because darkness is a noun. Patience, well, I guess it's a noun. Is it mostly just nouns? Huh. Yeah, so, because I was going to say, like, maybe you could make a sentence a little bit, but, you know, it doesn't have, I think it's pretty much just nouns. Smoke screen, because it's not perceptive, it's perception. So it is it's, you know, a noun, I guess. A promise, desire. Some of these words I think are multiple use. Smoke screen, really like this. Wow. And I have so many old photos myself of my family, because I am a genealogist by hobby, a genetic genealogist. I like to do DNA analysis and things like that. My dad and I were very big into that. It was one of the main things that connected myself with my dad. We were both very into genealogy, and we have a massive family tree on like Ancestry and My Heritage and 23andMe. Well, 23andMe used to have a family tree, but anyway, it's mostly just the DNA stuff there. But and we've solved family tree mysteries in using DNA and regular genealogical work. Yeah, it's definitely a big hobby of mine. And what I was getting at was that I actually have tons and tons of old family photos, and this definitely reminds me of a lot of my family members, and a lot of the pictures that we have. And this is funny. Under wraps. I have a feeling that I may use this for some of my, relatives of a certain generation, the past relatives of a certain generation, like kind of grandparents, great-grandparents age. Almost done with these. I really like this. And this is just such a practical deck, the little common oracle here. I did also get, yesterday actually, I got the Concordance Oracle from Chanel Days, and it's pretty similar to this. I prefer this in regards to, I like the just a word. I like just a word. Whereas Chanel's deck, the Concordance Oracle, it's the word with a couple of phrases underneath that you can use in your reading. You can pick one or use whichever one's drawing to you more, whatever. I do personally prefer just a single word. That's just my preference. And I like the simplicity of this. But I do also like, with her oracle, I like the artwork that she chose in the back. But and I may actually bring that one out to pair a little bit with some of these. So see how it works. Emergency contact. I love this. And as you saw, we moved back to the beginning of the deck because this was basically around where my daughter and I stopped looking through the cards. So strength. Uh-oh. The cards are getting near the bottom. I'm messing them up a little bit here. All right. And there's more in this pile than this pile. It wants to run away. This guide wants to guide me that way. False Summit with the bananas. I like that. Family ties. I just turned a light on over to the side. I'm not sure if that helps a little bit. It is a little bit later in the day, so the sun is starting to go down a little bit. But, oh, I love this one with the washing machine. Fresh start. So, I don't know if the lighting was poor. Sometimes I can't really tell when I'm doing these videos how the lighting is until I go into editing. And I'm just like, oh, that's not very good. Geared Up. I like that one. Hidden Ground. Yeah. Threshold, Tradition. I'm trying to go through these ones a little bit because it's got more in this pile. Home, Transform. So I like this one too. That's really good. Hot Water. I like that. And here's the last one on this. Idle Flight. And then we have Truth, Vessel, Vision, Water, Window, Wither, and Home, whoops, Home, Hope, Horizon, and Hunger. All right. I really, really like both of these. Oh, and let me, before I totally put these away, let me shuffle this a little bit. I can't remember how many cards are in this. There's more. This is the second edition, and there's a few extra cards in this than there was in the first edition. There are, let's see, does it say on here how many cards? No, and I don't want to count. I think it's like 40. I'm not sure. It's around that. It's a small little oracle, and I think it's just fine. So, yeah, and it shuffles really nice. Like I said, I only had the one deck from Lennox Reese, and the cardstock on that deck is absolutely perfect. So I'm not surprised that it is true for this as well. So fantastic. All right, I'm going to put this away, and we're going to flip through the Forest and Waters. Okay, we have the Folkloric Forest and the Folkloric Waters. And I'm going to move this off to the side. And these boxes are really nice. I love that they match. I do. I love that they match. It's very similar to, I have this off to the side here. But I also have the Terra Arcanae and the Oceanum Arcanae by Taylor Bryn. And I love, love, love that the detail was put into making sure the boxes match each other, because they're meant to be a set, you know, and this is a set, basically. It's from the same collection, the same line, or whatever, however you want to think about it. And because of that, I love the attention to detail to make sure like everything goes together, you know. And the books themselves are also lovely. I love the feel of the box. It also has that sort of it's got a texture to it. Like, I was kind of describing these cards as that soft touch, like rose petal finish, and it does still feel like that. This is a little more textured, but it also has that similar feel to it. So it's got that sort of texture to it. I'm going to move those to the side. And the books here are really nice, and they match, and they shine, and they're so pretty. It looks like there's quite a bit for each card. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, there's a lot for each card. And I'm going to assume it's similar here. Yep, pretty similar. Oh, I didn't check to see if there were any spreads, if Linux added any spreads in here. I don't see any. That's fine. All right, so this is actually in order now because, you know, like I said, they were only a little bit out of order, so because we were flipping through them. But so full. So yeah, so we can just look at the cards like this. Hopefully you can see this because the writing is in a sort of metallic color here, like foil. Can't speak. So maybe there are times when the light's not hitting it properly, but wow, look at this magician. It's just got everything at the table. I mean, this is really beautiful. The seer and the source. Okay, interesting. The seer and the source. So there's some renamings going on. This is the high priestess, and here it's the seer, and here it's the source. That's very interesting. And this has the empress as the maiden, which is very interesting. And this one has the vessel. That makes more sense, personally. But I love the imagery here. It's so gorgeous. Like, look how beautiful this is. Then the guardian and the pillar for the emperor. These are good names for the most part. The elder and the order for the Hierophant. Now, normally I'm not the biggest fan of like card renaming, and it's mostly because I have so many decks. So like so many card renamings can get a little confusing, and I forget what's what. But so far, the choices make sense. The choices for the renamings make sense. Both of these say the lovers. Interesting on this one. What is going on here? There's something in the back that I can't quite see. Does not want to focus. Come on, focus. There we go. Can't quite tell what that is, but it's interesting. And then this one has actual like people in it. Is that focused? Yeah, interesting. I might pull out this so I can look at the book for that. So the chariot, they both have. This one feels very like Six of Wands, or not Six of Wands, Six of Swords. You know, kind of that boat going away. That's just kind of what that makes me think of. And then we have the chariot here. Horses. Like a pack of horses, it looks like, because it's not just the one. There's at least one other, and I feel like there's something in the back here. Maybe there's another one. Oh no, that is this horse's other leg. So it's just the two horses here. Okay. Strength. I need to go faster. Sorry. I'm just like kind of looking at each card here, kind of taking it in. I love the lighthouse for this. And here is that extra card. Let's see. This one here. I like that one. It's not an extra card. It's the postcard that was sent. And what is this one called? Also called the wheel. And let's see how these look. Nice. So it's about tides here. And this is, it feels like it's a lot of like weeds, but like plants seeding themselves. And I like that. I like that imagery too. I might frame that that postcard. Justice, nice. I like that. The sacrifice and the submerged. Is this this is the hangman? Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. The submerged. That one makes sense for the hangman. The sacrifice. I mean, obviously the bird is upside down, so there we go. But I want to pull that one out too because I kind of want to see what the book says. So death on both of these. Interesting. My daughter liked this card. All right. Let's see. And then we have temperance. Does that say temperance? Yeah. Okay. I had to angle it for the light to hit it. Very beautiful. I love this imagery here. I do like to do some landscape painting a little bit sometimes. Nothing like this. Like this is like some high art stuff. But you know, I recently, like this year, did a little landscape thingy. I usually try to make it like very fantastical. Maybe I'll put it up on screen. But it was in my journal, so it's a small little painting. There we go. The devil. The tower. Wow. Ooh. Really loving this. Wow. That's really pretty. Ooh, look at the moon on this one. The moon. Both of them are actually really nice, but I quite like that. Okay. The sun. Ooh, I like this one, I think, the best. Judgment. Ooh. Wow. This is very like 5 of Pentacles feeling to me. And then we have the world. Nice. All right, so we have the suit of fire. I'm going to try to go faster through this. Ace 2. Let's see. Yeah, 2 of fire. And they are listed as the elements instead of the items. So fire instead of wands. Or if you read it, you know, because there are some people who use different associations with the elements. So 3, 4. Wow. Really pretty. 5. 6. Yeah, 6. Beautiful. 7. I love this one, the 7 of fire. Wow. And then this one, it's like these seals. My daughter and I, earlier today, we actually just watched Song of the Sea, Aran Namara. We've watched it in English. They didn't have it in Irish. I swear we have it on DVD somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. Love this. This is good too. 9 of fire, 9 of fire. But yeah, the Song of the Sea has, you know, it's about Selkies and, you know, the seals, seal people, fairies, and the other crowd. She really liked the movie. Say page, knight, love that. Love that. Queen, king. So ace of water, 2 of water. Beautiful. I really like this one. 3. Oh, look at the frogs. Love the frogs. Big fan of the frogs. I love that. 4. Interesting. Oh, this one's very 4 of cups. And these ones, like the ones in this one, they almost feel like mindless, you know, kind of like just following the, just, you know, day-to-day activities, going through, you know, swimming along, just keep swimming sort of thing, but like not really, you know, thinking about what's going on, just doing, you know. 5 of water. Wow. Okay. 6. Try to go a little faster, sorry. 7. Ooh, wow. 8. 9. Beautiful. 10. Ooh, I love the rainbow. I like this one. I feel like I'm just gravitating to a few more of the cards in the waters deck versus the forest one, but obviously I like both. But but I think I keep like going ooh on most of these ones. That said, I think I like this one more. The page of water here. Ooh, I love this knight on the forest one. Beautiful. Then we have the Queen of Water and the Queen of Water. King of Water. All right, so now we are in the air suit. Ooh, like this. I like this one a lot. 2 of air. Interesting. 3 of air. 4 of air. 5 of air. 6 of air. 7 of air. Nice. 8 of air. Sorry, I'm not saying much. I'm just kind of looking through. 9. Ooh, I love this one. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So 10 of air. Love the spider web. All right. So page. Knight. Ooh, I love the knight in the waters deck. But I also like the fox. Queen. Nice. King. Like the fisherman. All right, and now Ace of Earth. Interesting. Interesting that we are seeing fish here, but I think these fish are very much dead and they're hung up on the thing here. Interesting. So it's kind of representing that abundance, I think, of the Ace of Earth. 2 of Earth. 3 of Earth. 4. Oh, like the bundles. Oh, I really like this one. I really like this one. That's beautiful. And that's cool too. I love that. 5. 6. Ooh, love the raspberries. See, now I'm starting to find more in the forest one that I like more. Yeah, so maybe it's about even. 7. The 8 of Pentacles is my favorite tarot card. So let's see how these are depicted. This is hard at work, getting like, you know, muscles and, you know, things like that. And this is, what is it showing here? Well, I think I want to pull that to the side and read about that. So I have 3 so far in the forest one. So 9 of Earth. Wow, I like this one. 10 of Earth. Ooh, I like this one quite a bit. Yes, I really, really like this one. The 10 of Earth. 10 of Earth. So, page of Earth here. Like that. Queen. Ooh. Oh, no, Knight. Sorry, I didn't mean Queen. That Knight of Earth. Yeah, it's funny because I was saying that I seem to like more cards in the water suit, but once we started really going into the minors, there were a lot in the forest suit or deck that I like more. Yeah. And finally, the King of Earth here. All right. Cool. I love these. I think they're fantastic. I will shuffle them in a second. I just want to see what the guidebook sort of says about these 3 cards that I pulled out to look at. All right, so move that over here. Here is the book here. So I pulled out, let's see, the Lovers, the Sacrifice, which is the Hangman, and the Eight of Earth. So Lovers should be here in the front. Elder, Lovers. There is a lot to read here, but let's see. Tethered to one another. Oh, what is tethered here? What is tethered? Is that an animal? I can't quite tell what is over here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at the card and I wasn't really paying attention to it being on the on the screen here. Let me see if I can do. Whoa, hello. I was turning on the flash on this and I just kind of want to see if. Whoa, that flash is harsh. Oh my gosh, that is a harsh flash. Yeah, I can't quite tell what that is in the back. Interesting. Okay, so tethered to one another, the white flowers stretch across. Oh, the flowers are the ones that are tethered. See, I have this problem when I read that I read one word at a time. And it drives my husband nuts because I will get stuck on a word and he's like, if you read the rest, you would understand what I was saying. Like, okay, so tethered to one another, the white flowers stretch across the river, longing for connection. Each petal feels like a promise held close, a gentle gesture reaching across the water. To stand beside the river as these flowers do means exposing oneself to the elements and facing whatever comes. Just as the water shapes the stones over time, love changes and shapes too. That's beautiful. All right, so that makes sense. I understand. And then we have the Sacrifice. Just kind of want to see what it says here. A pigeon hangs above the book, its head resting on the textured surface. Upside down, its body seems to hold knowledge. Its wings, once flying in the sky, now lie folded in its at its sides. Sorry. The bird's short life is a reminder of hunting, death, and the endless cycle of nature. Okay. And then the Eight of Earth, way back here. So craftsmanship, devotion, expertise, hands familiar with hard work, and the comfort of reliable tools push open the door. Push open the door. Push open the door. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the image here. Push open the door. Which creaks loudly. Dust rises as air rushes in. Inside the dim barn, worn floorboards show the marks of countless footsteps through many seasons. Tools rest against the walls, waiting in the shadows. The Eight of Earth is found in the steady effort of each sweep of the broom and every stack of hay lifted. Taking part in slow, consistent work brings meaning and supports life. Through the tasks, though the tasks repeat, each day's labor carries the weight of the future. Interesting. Okay. And there's more to that, but like I just kind of wanted to get a brief understanding of that. And I am going to shuffle these a little bit here. It looks like they're going to shuffle great because they're nice and not super thick. You know, I was going to say thin, but I think people take that as a negative thing. I am not saying that as a negative at all. These cards feel very sturdy, but they are on the thinner side, which makes shuffling so much nicer. Beautiful. Oh, like Lennox knows how to do cardstock. Like this is the kind of cardstock I like. You know, it's really rivaling my favorite cardstock, which was the Anima Mundi. It's very, very similar. There's a slight difference, I think, maybe, but it's very, very similar to the Anima Mundi cardstock, which is my favorite. So, like, I'm thrilled about this, and the overhand is just fine too. So I'm gonna pause and shuffle the other deck too. Also, I didn't mention this, but the edging is absolutely fantastic. Like the forests are this like nice hunter green. It's looking a bit brighter on camera, but it's a nice like very kind of dull hunter green, and which I think is perfect for this deck, and it definitely has the correct feel to the deck. Great choice. And this one is kind of like this like It's again a dull color, which I think goes very well with this artwork. It's like a dull, like steel blue. And I think it's beautiful. It's got a hint of like a greenish to it. Yeah, I think this is gorgeous. All right. So pulling out the two decks that I actually mentioned earlier, the Terra Arcanae and the Oceanum Arcanae. Obviously, I have the entire set of the Arcanae, and it is a earth, water, fire, air, whole set there, and and there's also other decks that are similar, but I just have the element ones. So my question is, I wonder if Lennox is planning on doing a similar thing where there's going to be one for each element, and I would be interested in that. I don't, not like I need like a gajillion of like element decks. I am very happy with this one here, and I have a specific reason or specific purpose that I use this deck for, and I could do something similar with this, and perhaps use them together. I don't know, but I just kind of wanted to see how this sort of feels together. I feel like I would just use the water with the water, and this does not want to pick up. Here we go. The water with the water, and the forest with the earth. And it could be an interesting pairing. I thought it could be something interesting to try here. I love these seals here. Definitely makes me think of the movie we just watched. Because the difference though, I mean, I feel like these are pretty specific to a region. The decks by Lennox here, they do feel more like like lakes. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, some of them are a little bit oceany, but they feel like it's very much kind of like the forest deck kind of makes me think of the Great Lakes area, and my mom's family's from Michigan, so I'm just kind of, it's reminding me of that area. I don't know if that makes sense, but it is. It reminds me of that area. And whereas like the ocean deck here is much more like deep sea and kind of all over the world, and the earth deck is also a little bit all over the world, whereas I feel like these two decks feel more specific to an area. Now I feel like it's kind of a fantasy area, maybe Europe even. It's like it has a European feel, and it also has a like Great Lakes feel to me. I don't know if that makes sense, but these are both the Wheel of Fortune. I wasn't even paying attention to the cards I was pulling. That's funny. But yeah, so I think this could be an interesting grouping or pairing, and not sure if there's going to be more in this sort of folkloric line here. So yeah. So a bit of an obvious pairing, I think, would be perhaps the Somnia Oracle here. Yeah, so I thought I have the forest and the waters over here with the Somnia in the middle, and just sort of feeling these out a little bit here. That's very interesting. Look at that. Yeah, this is, it has... All three of these decks have a sort of solemn vibe to them. It's something that's very deep, deep in the forest, deep in the lakes, deep in sorrow or something, deep in a feeling here. Like each of these decks have that sort of very deep, dark feeling to them, because like the folkloric decks, they don't necessarily feel happy. Like they feel solemn. They feel like contemplative, I think. Oh, that one's definitely really dark. And yeah, I definitely think this deck goes very, very well. I think it has that vibe, and the photography of this, I think, is going very well with the energy in these cards here. This deck, also the Somnia, has a sort of otherworldly feel to me. You know, like these feel like otherworldly beings. And by that, I do mean like more deities or I don't know if it's quite fairy. It's not quite fae to me. Maybe a little bit. Hard to say. But it's definitely dark and very spooky and otherworldly, you know? And I do get that vibe from the two folkloric decks. So I definitely think these go together very, very well. Nice. Okay. Okay, doing a little bit of pairing and playing around with some of these decks. We've got the Faded Frontier right here in the middle, and connecting it with some word cards here from the Common Oracle. And then I added in the Green Glyphs runes set. I don't often use runes, and they do also come with dice. So, I mean, you could do a dice thing, and I just knocked all the cards everywhere doing that, but, you know, you could do something like that. Yeah, I kind of wish this one, I love the green glyphs. They're hard to pair, though. They are hard to pair because of the coloring of them. But I do wish it was Ogham instead of runes, because I am more of an Ogham person versus runes, but I do still really love this deck. So I thought I'd give that a shot, see how it looks with that. Yeah, this is interesting. I wonder if I could try, instead of the word cards, perhaps I can use some of the, what I had mentioned was from the Chanel Days deck. So let me grab some of these. The Concordance. Maybe I could do something like this. Reconciliation under Family Ties. Loyalty with Sugar Coated. And Desert with Quick Fix. Ooh, interesting. That could be cool. So I'm similar cards here and just using different, I wonder what the size difference between these. These are very close to the same size. It looks like Lennox's deck is a little bit shorter than Chanel's. So just a little bit there. Okay, cool. So yeah, thought I'd try that, see how that looks. Pretty cool. I think that actually works pretty well. The other thing you could do, instead of these cards here, we could use these, the word cards. I think it went like this. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Hopefully that's focused. There we go. Now, like, could do something like this, and it's a bit of a layered reading, like, and then you could actually read this a little bit like a 9-card box, actually. Reading the diagonals and past, present, future, the reality, what's weighing down, the intangible, the foundation or the tangible. You know, you could do stuff like that, the hidden influences. That might be interesting. And I thought about using the Faded Frontier with some of my other Ancestry decks, and the Fortunate Frogs is one of the decks that I like to use with one of my ancestors. So, like, we can start off with kind of a feel for the reading here, what the theme is, and that's the fresh start. Then we're using the Common Oracle to kind of create little spread positions here for each of the positions, and what each of these positions are representing. So that could be cool. Let's do one more here and switch out some of these cards. Yoop. This is fun. Very cute. And then this one here, Surface Tension. And we got Surrender, Tension. That's funny. And Mirror with the Queen of Shrooms. That's cool. Shrooms, I think, are the wands in this deck. I'm pretty sure. This is my problem when renamings start to happen. But yeah, I think shrooms are wands in this deck. So that would be my significator. So we got the Queen of Shrooms with the mirror, looking myself in the mirror. We do see that connection here, the surface tension. So this is what's coming forward. Is that Page of Shrooms or Page of Wands. Surrendering this sort of Empress, surrendering to this energy. Perhaps. Very interesting. I liked how this actually ended up turning out. All right, here's something I just sort of was messing around with and threw together. So I have the Coastal Curiosities here at the ends. Then in the center, I have one of the ancestor cards from the Ancestors and Advisors pack from Black and the Moon, Claire Goodchild. Then I have the Faded Frontier here at the bottom, connected to this card mostly, and the cards next to it. And then I have some cards here from the Unfinished Business, and this was feeling very ancestry. Let me turn this camera a little bit here. Yeah, so I thought this might be interesting. I don't quite have purpose or you know, whatever this means. And ooh, and we have some free spots here. Maybe we can put I've really overloaded this spread here, but we've got a full layout here. Here we go. There's some of the rune cards from the green glyphs. Green glyphs. So yeah, actually this is kind of cool. This could be a cool layout. And finding all the connections with the cards that are touching each other, the cards that are off from each other, and how they sort of read in together. And you have the central ancestor that you're talking to or trying to connect with, or getting answers on right here in the center, or whatever the significator card, you know. That's pretty cool. I kind of like the way this looks. I don't have, this was my ancestor card of the month, so I don't actually have this deck near me. I just grabbed it off of the thing, so that's going to stay the same. And I'm just going to change out some of these things. I just want to see another, how this looks here. So, threshold and tradition. Okay. And then let's see, we've got to switch the Coastal Curiosities. Let's see, we've got Compassion and we have Tender. Ooh, those are nice cards. And let's see, I got to grab two of the Concordance cards here. Sorry, they're in a tray. I keep them in a tray because this one didn't have a box like the Common Oracle. Release and Transform. Ooh, Tradition, Threshold, Transform. That's interesting. That's something we can read into. Let's switch out the rune cards here, there, and there. Yeah, I think this is a pretty cool layout here. I might have to make note of this and come back to it. So that's pretty cool. All right. Okay, that is all of the decks that I got in from Lennox Reese's Kickstarter. So it was these 4 decks here, and then I also had the Coastal Curiosities already. So the Folkloric Forests, Folkloric Waters, the Faded Frontier, the Common Oracle, and of course the Coastal Curiosities. All right, cool. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time.